All right, well, for this week, I was really hoping to recreate my very first pour, but given a North Idaho spring, we can't decide whether we want to rain, snow, or have the sunshine. In any event, it's kind of cold out there, and I don't want to stand in front of a fire pit and try to recreate the very first thing that I made. So instead, I decided I would live up to the promise I made a bunch of videos ago and show you the inside of my shop. Up until recently, this has been my shed that's held basically all of our outside stuff. But I tried to carve out kind of a workspace, and there's a dividing line right there. And I've got the back half, and this is the obviously the front half, and doors leading out and such. And you can still kind of see the garden equipment and plant stuff over here, although each time I work in here I have to take the lawnmower out so that I've got room. Otherwise the lawnmower sits right there. And then over here, the wheelbarrow, which I use to mull my sand, it just props up right there. And then on the other side of that dividing line is what I've had for the shop. Now, kind of extending over that, here's my bench grinder. And it does a fantastic job. And then my fold-up, foldable work stand. And then the piece of plywood that I have that I use to extend the tabletop. And then check out my electrical system here. Eventually what I want to do is put a splitter so that one power strip can go here, the other power strip will go here, so that'll give me a little more slack with this cord. But primarily it powers the light in here. And then I bought a second bank for this side here. So most of the work happens here. My green sand I've got in 2 buckets so that I can alternate. This is just a new thing that I came up with. The hope is that I can work with half the sand and then rehydrate it, and then I'll have another batch for the next time. I've got enough sand that I can work 2 consecutive days without having to mull anything. And then my tank's there. Then I've got this steel stand here, which I use as a big giant heat sink. So when I'm done with my furnace, right now I'm using it to hold my headphones and such. This is where the furnace sits. And then I've got my slag pan there, and then the water that I use to cool things down. Down here, also plugged in, is the battery for my rock crusher, which is up here, which is what I use for the PC boards. Angle grinders up here. I don't know if there's enough light to show that. And then I just plug it in and use it there on the bench. Coming across this back, here are my ramming supplies. And then this is the board that most of that takes place on. And as you can see, of course, things are cluttered enough that I can knock things over. Some protective gear, 2 sets of gloves. and then my flasks here. This one for my ingots, and then the other 3 that I use for my multi-purpose molds. And then I've got my 2 sets of the single stuff that I use for primarily for making coins and small things. And then coming across, here's various projects that I need to work on and finish. Got a couple of Idahos here, 3 brass eggs, 3 aluminum eggs from way last year. My numbers that I think I want to make the surface smoother. Vader that I'm working on. That's going to go with the RCMS Idaho. Here's the handle piece that I will eventually use when I take another shot at the aluminum mold to make ingots. And then various things here. Here's my ongoing pile of crushed PC board for that next attempt there. One of my grandsons had removed my Anaheim, and I need to put that. And I've got a couple of items here that I need to get to some family members and such. My clamps, stack of magnets that I use for my Vaders, borax, and then more safety gear here. And then coming across, this box contains a lot of my molds. The ones that I've just used and have not yet put back are on top. As you can see with this job here, I did an Idaho home and a River City Middle School. My scale, tripod. Here's the project that's going to go with the Vader that I showed you. Got some coins in there. And the Idaho RCMS. That's for, I'm going to eventually do a Make-A-Wish thing. And, well, I'm not sure where I was on that, but I think I was talking about this. My GoPro is about ready to die here. And so I don't know if I'm still recording or not. And I don't think my batteries are charged up. We'll see. We'll see. All right, well, I swapped out some batteries, and hopefully I can get this thing finished off. Here's my Dremel supplies in that bag, and then some miscellaneous craft stuff that I have in there. Actually, most of the material I used in this, I made a foam stormtrooper outfit. Up here at the top, I got my various scrap metals, so I've got some extra zinc, some extra pot metal, and some bismuth there, and then I've got more material down there next to the green sand, and metals that I use, stepping stool, bench sometimes, and then the items that I use crushing PC boards. And then this chunk over here, which I really need to dig into. This is some scrap stuff. I got an entire box of scrap that I need to go through. Some frying pans, PC boards, more PC boards in here, and other various items. So a lot of that is cabling, which I may or may not get to. Let's see, over in this corner, the matches, my little Vader stuff. And that's pretty much it. It's kind of cramped, and I'm often juggling things around, so I've got room to work, although it looks like it's pretty spacious here. I've got a bunch of items sitting out in the back on the other side of the door there. A bunches of aluminum cans that were normally suspended from the ceiling up there that are out of the way, so that I could kind of show how things are going. There's, I think, potential here. Eventually, I may put a couple of other items here. It would be nice if I could do some sort of processing with some of the things that I cast. I don't have those skills yet, milling or using a lathe or such, but it'd be cool to have some of those items there. Anyway, that's just a quick look at the shop. I don't know if it exactly takes the place of what I was hoping to do this week, but like I said, spring break in North Idaho. Flip a coin, and then 5 minutes later, flip another coin to determine what the weather's going to be like. Well, if you found this even remotely entertaining, please give me a like, and please support the channel with a subscription. For those of you that already do, I really, really do appreciate it. All right, everyone. Thanks a bunch, and blessings.